Okay, so sorry I forgot the chronological term of events. So after it goes to just a general party, everybody's talking about college and their SAT stories, and it's introduced this guy named Craig that Sam really likes, and he likes her back, but nothing's happened so far. Um, so Mary Elizabeth got a 1450. Alice got like a 12 something, and of course this is taking place in like the 80s. It's a time where those scores are still relevant because it's only out of 1600, whereas of today it's out of 2400. um, and Sam is just sitting over in on a stairwell, kind of depressed. She doesn't say her exact score to Charlie when he comes over and confronts her, but she does say, "Oops," like she did really bad and she wishes she could have done better. So Charlie offers to help her, and he gives her a mixtape that he made for her, and she really likes it. She thinks he's got good taste, and she kind of has this look like she doesn't know what to make of what's going on here. And then it cuts to a scene where Charlie like hallucinates dancing with her, but it's actually Craig who's dancing with her, and they start talking, and different things happen, nothing really important. Just they say that she's had a history of dating bad guys, Patrick says, and Craig is better than them, but he still feels that she's not being real. So after that, it cuts to another montage of Charlie helping Sam study for the SATs, all at King's, and then right around Christmas time, she gets her scores again, and she got a really good score, a 1210, which is higher than Alice. Alice got like 11 something. So she's like really happy that she got that score. She After that, it cuts to another scene where they're doing this Secret Santa type thing, and Sam is just on Charlie's back, being like, "No more SATs, no more applications. Thank you, Charlie." She's thanking him because he's basically made her dream of going to Penn State main campus possible, and it's just like it's awesome. So they do the Secret Santa. Mary Elizabeth gets jeans, which of course are from Alice because she steals jeans, but then it's heartwarming because she actually paid for the jeans. Um, uh, Patrick got a bunch of different things, and he says, "This gift is so gay that I might have given it to myself." But despite that distinct possibility, he guesses Charlie, and he's right. So Charlie gets up there to do his Secret Santa gifts, and he got clothes. He was ordered to wear a shirt, a belt, pants, and shoes and socks that he got as a Secret Santa gift. And he guessed it was Mary Elizabeth because she bosses people around. But it was actually Patrick who gave him to her, because who gave the clothes to him, because all the great writers wore great suits. So he tells him to go to the bathroom. There is more in there for him to put on, and basically he hands Patrick a bag of gifts to hand out to everybody. Very heartwarming, thought-felt gifts, and he goes off. Mary Elizabeth opens hers, and it's $40 to print her fanzine, Punk Rocky, in color the next time that she does. Alice opens hers, and it's a book. I don't know what it was, maybe a drawing book or something. It says, "I know you'll get into NYU, Charlie." And then Bob gets bubbles because he's a stoner. He loves it. Sam opens her gift, and it's a record from the Beatles. I don't remember which record, but if you watch the movie, you'll see. And then there's a card. You don't know what's in it until later on. You can kind of guess what was in it. And she's very touched. So he comes out, and they're all astounded because he looks good. He's wearing a suit. He's got the tie. He's got the shirt. He's got everything. And basically Sam is like looking at him, and she's like, "Where did this guy come from?" So then it cuts to a scene where they're in Sam's bedroom. Basically just Sam and Charlie, and Sam has a gift for Charlie. It's a typewriter, and she types, "Write about us sometime," and he says, "I will." And then they start talking about first loves, first kisses, and you find out that Sam was actually sexually abused as a child by her dad's boss, like her real dad's boss. Um, and basically, she's been through a lot of crap, and Charlie says that his aunt went through the same thing, and she turned her life around, and he knows that she's going to do great things, and they end up kissing because Charlie has never had a kiss, and she wants to make sure it's by somebody who loves him. So then afterwards, it goes to a scene where Charlie's brother is getting home from Penn State, which is where he goes, and they start talking, and then after dinner, this is Christmas Eve that this happens, and it's also Charlie's birthday. Charlie's birthday is on Christmas Eve, am I right? So they start talking after dinner, after the cake, after everything, and he says that he's not picturing things, and if he is, he can stop it like that, and he's going to ask Sam out at New Year's. Afterwards, it cuts to the New Year's party, and he has taken LSD. He took the strip that was soaked in LSD and put it on his tongue because he sees Craig and Sam kissing. Craig beat him to the punch, and he's just kind of depressed. And so basically, it goes on to where he's gone crazy because it's LSD, it's acid, whatever. He's outside shoveling the driveway. Sam comes up and he's like, "Whoa, that tree just turned into a dragon. Then it turned into a tree again. It just lied to me." He's just hilarious. He goes in the house, and basically he's on like this high time montage where it's speeding up, and all of a sudden it's like midnight. The countdown has happened and everything, and he goes outside and he falls down in the snow. He wakes up. And it cuts to a scene that he's in the hospital. The cops found him. They figured he was on drugs. He took him to the hospital. Called his. Hey guys, I'm sorry I didn't upload the video yesterday. I'm an idiot. My camera died right in the middle of making the video, and it took an hour just to charge a little bit. So I just decided to do it today. I should have done it earlier so that way I can make my other video for you guys, but we'll see how that goes. If not, I'll just upload it tomorrow. So, where was I? I believe I was at the part where the cops found him. He was on drugs, but he's in the hospital, and he's trying to convince his parents that he's not on drugs. And he tells the cops and his parents that I was feeling feverish, so I went outside to get some cold air, and I got dizzy, and I started seeing things, and I passed out. And then his parents get all worried. They're like, "You're seeing things again?" And he's like, "Not really." And then it just cuts to a scene where they're at the Rocky Horror Picture Show again, and Craig, who is in the show with Sam, he hasn't showed up, and he calls them and tells them he's not going to be there. And of course, Brad, Patrick's boyfriend, doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to get seen doing it. So Charlie goes ahead and does it, and the only thing that he wears in the performance that he's in, they show him in two different things. The first time, he is just in a gold Speedo, playing the part of the man that Sam is trying to seduce in a song. It's really, really funny because he's very hesitant to do it because really the only thing he has to do is touch her breasts. And of course, it's something he's wanted to do but never really been able to do, and he's still not kind of comfortable with it. She kind of has to push him to do it. She doesn't care. She's fine with it because he's a real good friend. And then it shows the same scene where Patrick does the drag, but Charlie is one of the backup dancers, and he's wearing like the same thing. And then they kind of all applaud him. They just kind of like, whatever. And then after the show, he's helping Mary Elizabeth get some stuff to her car, and they kind of have a moment where they're just like, talking, and then she's like, "Hey Charlie, the Sadie Hawkins dance that's coming up?" He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, I think it's like totally sexist, and under any other circumstances I wouldn't go, but it's my senior year, so would you like to go with me?" And of course he says yes. He just he goes to it with her, and she shows up at his house to pick him up, and it's really funny because she's a Buddhist and she's got this haircut to where like all her hair goes to one side and then this side is shaved. So his dad is like just kind of like really judgmental. uh, they get to the dance and everything, and Sam is by herself because Craig didn't want to go. Charlie goes up to her and tells her, and just talks to her, tells her that if she likes it, Craig should have been there. He makes her feel a little better, and then just after the dance, it goes to a scene where he is at Mary Elizabeth's house, and they are talking. She gets a bottle of wine, opens it up, puts on some old music that kind of sets the mood, and they drink a little bit, and then they start kissing. And after Mary Elizabeth asks him if he likes her, and he's just like, "Yeah, I think so," but it's just his male hormones talking. He doesn't really mean it. At one point, while they are making out, he actually like hallucinates that it is Sam instead of Mary Elizabeth. And after that, Sam starts talking. She's like, "I can't believe you're my boyfriend," and then it just goes on a small montage where he's talking about how much he hates his relationship and how he didn't even want it in the first place. And at one point, it's Ash Wednesday, and she sees him with the black mark on his forehead, and she just like rubs it off, which is kind of messed up. And after the montage is over, they are at a party, and they are playing Truth or Dare. It's not really a party; it's just kind of like a get together with all of them, Craig, Patrick, and Bob, and everybody. You find out that Mary Elizabeth did get into Harvard, and she's gonna go. And Patrick gives Charlie a dare because he visualizes what a truth would be like. The truth was like, how's your first relationship going? And he's like, it's so bad that I visualize that one of us has cancer, just so that way I don't have to break up with her. And then you find out it's like a hallucination, so he says dare, and he's dared to kiss the prettiest girl in the room, and he kisses Sam. And it's like really messed up, because after that it goes to where they all kind of hate Charlie. Patrick doesn't really hate Charlie, but Sam kind of doesn't like him. Mary Elizabeth definitely doesn't like him. They're all just kind of against him now, so they stop talking to him, and he just goes off on his own. And at one point he's typing on his typewriter, and it says, I haven't seen my friends in 2 weeks. I'm starting to get bad again. So we know that he's starting to black out or hallucinate or whatever it is that getting bad means. So after that, it goes to where he's at Bob's, because Bob is pretty much the only one still talking to him. He's buying weed from Bob, the funniest thing, and Bob tells him that Brad's dad caught him and Patrick together and beat Brad senseless.